Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're just going to take a quick look at Luna, and when I say quick, we're going to be just jumping right in to kind of identify some, dollar cost averaging targets. I get this question a lot right now, like how much lower is it going to go? So we'll just try to help identify that. If you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, I just love teaching people how to trade, and this is my passion. I do this every day for work, so hopefully get to know you better. If you want to go ahead and consider joining my community, I recommend next month, of course, just based on the simple fact that rolling out with a trading academy and things are going to be looking a lot better, way more resources. We're also opening futures trades as well, so it's going to be an awesome experience, just to take advantage of a lot of the short market, so to speak. So with Luna here, for example, looking at the main obvious things here, we got one good thing coming for us here, and at the 200-day SMA is working its way up. So for Luna, we can see that 45 is the current price for the average of the last 200 days. So that is good. So if the price were to come down and lose 47.50, we can see 45 wouldn't be far off. In fact, 45 might actually even come up to 47.50 by the time that happens. We don't know truly, but that is essentially the good here, right? But unfortunately, we lost key level support. We got this head and shoulders pattern, of course, that broke to the downside. So we could expect the price to come down as low as, that's a terrible line. Let's just go ahead and do this here, for example. We should expect to see the price come down somewhere in the range of, like, I'm going to ballpark here, say about 38 to 42 would probably be the lowest, but that's the likelihood of the price coming all the way down. In other words, to finish that head and shoulders, we should expect the price to come that much further, just to kind of get that, that full effect. A lot of times it comes to the lowest point in which it started, which right around here is somewhere between 38 and roughly just say 44, right? But I do think closer to 42 would be ideal. So good dollar cost average target would be 42. Just bear in mind, 45 may also be a case in point where the price might come down to bounce based on that being a 200-day SMA, or if just say Bitcoin loses its bottom or tests 33,000 again, then we'll see the price come down to that point and probably get a candle with somewhere in a 38 to 42 range. Okay, so again, set your limit orders and put those in place, because the likelihood of that happening is fairly high just based on its current trajectory here. Again, we had a little bit of recovery, of course, based on Bitcoin surviving the day. It didn't. We think we closed on a green day for a change. It's trending closer to 38,000 right now. But if it gets rejected off 38, which is expected because 37.5 is a strong resistance zone, then it'll come back down and Luna should continue, right? Again, the reason why this is happening, just so you know, isn't just because of a pattern. A lot of it has to do with the fact that Luna was a very profitable coin for a lot of people, and whales specifically. So what do you think they're going to do when they decide to take their profits? Are they going to trim a little bit off of Bitcoin and continue to do that whole game, or are they going to take most of the profits they earn from Luna before it falls out, right? To come to fruition essentially for that pattern. So again, a lot of little things you can kind of think of, but Luna is getting close to its bottom, so bear this in mind. We're close to 30 on the RSI. That does help us understand that it's losing that potential bottom. And obviously, if we were to kind of do it here, take a look at TD sequential, we got a reset at a 9, and we're now in, for lack of better terms, overtime, right? A lot of times when you see the price action this far down, it should reverse, right? But again, the likelihood of it continuing down just to complete that pattern is fairly high. So I wouldn't put a lot of faith in Luna just bouncing right back, especially if Bitcoin slowly starts to bleed over the weekend, which does, I do feel it's probable at this point. I don't think we're going to see a weekend rally personally, but again, too early to tell. We did close actually fairly well today, though, honestly, for Bitcoin. So a little surprised by that, but it didn't break 37.5 on the one day, and that's a key level resistance that we're still holding within. Anyways, that filters into Luna in that sense. One last thing to look at here, just a couple of other moving averages. I wouldn't be considered bullish on Luna until we get back over the 50-day SMA at the very least. But also bear in mind that the harder something falls down like it has been, the longer it takes to recover. So we should not expect the price just to shoot back up. It's very rare for that to happen. It's not super common. Okay, if it were to come back, just say, for example, best case scenario would be 52 to 56. That would be the case there. I would say you're kind of gambling at this point, though, because Luna is not showing any strength, and it is just trending really close to 30 on both RSIs. When you see RSI close to 30 on the 1 day and the 4 hour, yes, there's a likelihood of the price coming back, but it's also simply put, it's very exhausted and absolutely at a very low point. Okay, so again, logic would tell you that it's gonna, what goes down must come up. That's very true. But I would just exercise caution because a lot of other indicators are telling us that it could continue down. That's just some friendly advice there. But today, of course, we see a little bit of green. That is bear in mind. That's basically just because Bitcoin showed a moderate amount of strength here for 1 day. I would not consider that to be a signal to go long, okay? Once again, you're essentially just keep buying the bottom, right? If you've been dollar cost averaging on the way down, that's perfectly fine, but you don't want to invest a lot. That's why I always recommend small percentages as you DCA. So that's why I'm making this video for my community, because we want to know how much of a dollar cost average target we should shoot for. And once again, we're looking at 38 to 44 as a range, and we're right at about 51. So we're a little ways away, but I don't expect Luna to take off. But again, it very well could, because it is definitely on the exhausted side. So just bear in mind there's some key level resistances, and we did get a reset from an 8. So there's potential for the price to retrace, or correction, not retrace, and continue upwards. At least for the immediate future, we might see a slight pump over the weekend, 24 to 48 hours, but it's not giving us any indication as to how long this will last. It's done this about 3 or 4 times in a row. So, what's to stop it from doing it again, right? Lower highs, lower lows. Until we make a higher high, there's really no reason to want to consider jumping into Luna unless you're the gambling type. And you know me by now, if you've been watching my videos, that is not the case. That is not good trading, okay? So try to understand that and try to remember to be careful and cautious in this environment. It's important to, protect your investment and only invest correctly. Obviously, there's no guarantees in investing, but this is investing no matter how we look at it, right? You can trade all you want, but we are investing. But again, take a look at this. Lower highs, lower lows, consistent. So this next high is lower than the range of about 55. It can't break 55. Then we're going to be in a state of either A, consolidation, or B, the price will come back down. See how the price responds to $55, and then, of course, make your decision from there. Because if it shoots up to 55, gets rejected, and comes back down, then obviously it cannot break its previous lower high, and it will continue to make lower highs based on that. Okay, so again, that's just kind of something to think about. And obviously, if we take a look here at Ichimoku, we'll probably be able to identify that we are almost at a sell signal. In other words, the price traveling into the lagging span traveling into the price action really just tells us that we probably want to consider, selling our short position if we were to have one. Or if nothing else, we're going to be reaching a state of consolidation that could occur for the price to go sideways before it increases. But once again, Ichimoku cloud, we're not supposed to take entry until the price is back above the cloud. So we got a little ways to go here, okay? That should put us well into, tomorrow evening or the day after before the price breaks back above the cloud. So I wouldn't consider taking a long position again unless you are just kind of the gambling type, or maybe you just want to kind of, do some quick little trims on the 15-minute, right? Perhaps you want to enable the Bollinger Bands and kind of see, oh, okay, price is bouncing off the Bollinger. Maybe we should consider a short. There's a lot of different scenarios you can take, right? These are the things I'm going to plan to cover in my trading academy, because I have a lot of trading basics in there and intermediate. Basically scenarios where you can understand a little bit better how to become a better trader. But I'm going to focus a little bit more on these kind of tactics that you can use to essentially maximize your benefit. We've even got some community members that are very good at scalping on the 15-minute time frame. I personally like to use the EMA and VWAP. Price over EMA and VWAP tells me I have a green light to essentially take position, right? So again, a lot of different scenarios you could take here, but Luna, unless you're doing a very small short-term trade, I would not recommend just buying this bottom and hoping for it to come back. If you would exercise that same exact theory in practice, you would see that you would have been stopped out 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 times in the past, 3 trading days. Okay. So again, Luna's giving us a lot of false positives, and that's because it's on its way down to complete the head and shoulders pattern. Try to remember that and try to understand. That is kind of where we're at here for Luna. So not dire straits. I think it's getting close to its bottom, but I would say 38 to 44 is a better bottom to buy into at this point, just based on the fact that Bitcoin is a likelihood of coming down to 33,000 again. And if it does that, there's a guarantee, almost no uncertainty, that Luna will not continue lower and to give us a better value, right? So try to understand. That's what I'm trying to drive home here. So hopefully you found benefit, and obviously if you do, like and subscribe. If you're not already, and consider joining my community next month. I recommend that, of course, just based on the fact that I'm rolling out with a trading academy. We're doing futures trading as well to catch some short positions, and also have roundtables that we're going to start, which is some pretty cool discussion where we can just all kind of get together and collaborate as traders and learn and grow. That's the concept, that's the idea, and that's what you get with CryptoCache Premium. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a good one. Take care.